What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we're jumping into Green Lantern issue number 12. We continue on our story with Hal Jordan. We had last left off with Hal Jordan headed off to the United Planets Council. They came to expose the crimes of the Lord Premier, of his efforts to destroy all the central batteries from all of the cores across the spectrum, so that he and he alone can control the spectrum itself, can control the source. And I don't mean the literal source, but the source of the spectrum, what was created by JOHN STEWART. And though the Lord Premier thought that he had taken out the star Sapphires, they're not done yet. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we pick up at the OA Resistance Corps base. We have the Lord Premier's Lanterns, or the United Planet Lanterns. They're trying to take in Kyle Rayner, and if everybody's noticed, Kyle Rayner's been out of it. There's something wrong with him. We don't know what's going on with him. We just know that his mind hasn't been right ever since the emotional spectrum started going all over the place. And so when the United Planet Lanterns go in to touch him, to grab him, to lift him up off the ground, Kyle Rayner lifts his hand up to the sky, and there is a devastating blast that is shot out in all directions. When Kyle looks around, he has no idea what the heck just happened. But the United Planet Lanterns, their uniforms, their rings, it's all gone. In an instant, he destroyed their rings itself. So for those of you that thought Kyle Rayner wasn't being used properly, it looks like they're building up to use him for something big. Meanwhile, elsewhere at the Great Hall on Oa, our Resistance Lanterns are fighting back. The Lord Premier had planned this. He knew that they would come. This was all a trap, all a setup to lure in the Resistance Lanterns and take them down once and for all. So amidst all the chaos and all the fighting, Hal Jordan observes the battlefield. He recognizes that this is not a fight they're going to win. He takes the opportunity and he makes a getaway. That if he can get away, if he can get back home to Earth, he can bring back help. But the Spectrum Lanterns are on him. As he tries to make his getaway, he is intercepted. The magical individuals known as the Unseen, also being lanterns. They can feel the power in his ring. They want to know how he came by it. They want to know how he has something that they can't control. A ring that is outside of their knowledge. But as they grab hold of him and they think that they have Hal Jordan in their grasp, this is where we have the arrival of our star Sapphire. The last of the star Sapphires. Being able to take them by surprise, she is able to knock them all down. She grabs Hal, and then they teleport out as they arrive just outside of Earth. She knows that Hal is hurt. Gotta get him somewhere safe. And so while they arrive back at his little RV, we pick up with the Lord Premier. He knows that Hal Jordan is alive. Not only this, he is wielding a ring that he has no control of, has no access to. And so now he's theorizing that maybe the Guardians had other central batteries he didn't know about or anybody didn't know about. He is unwilling to let anybody wield this power but himself. That if Hal Jordan is allowed to continue on, everything could fall apart. This is where he contacts Amanda Waller. He tells her that he has need of her services because they have been working together for quite some time, even turning a blind eye to her whole House of Brainiac affair. What the Lord Premier has come to tell her is that if you bring me Hal Jordan, if you see Hal Jordan, if you find Hal Jordan, you bring him to me. When you bring him to me, we won't even look in your direction. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Sector 2814 will not be our problem. But if you don't do this, then he will bring down the might of the universe down on Earth. And so, having no other option, she agrees to this. Obviously recognizing that this is going to be a problem in the future, but she is focused on her absolute power goals. She focused on ridding the world of superheroes. Taking care of Hal Jordan, this is something that was on her list already. And so with Hal in his beaten up state, we have Carol that is taking care of him. Obviously, Carol being the star Sapphire. But while they sit here and have a discussion, they are quickly interrupted by a giant boom. High explosives going off. The trailer opening up like a soda can. and we have King Shark sent by Amanda Waller to bring in Hal Jordan. This is where absolute power begins. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so I have some mixed feelings on this comic. It's not necessarily that it's a bad comic. The problem is they have to tie it into absolute power. And so they had to bring Hal Jordan back to Earth so that he could get imprisoned and he wouldn't be a problem. That's the idea behind this. At least that's what it seems like they're going with. And this is kind of unfortunate. I say that because Hal Jordan's Green Lantern story has been phenomenal. And I personally just don't want to take a break from it. I don't want to detour so that we can do the absolute power event and then come back to everything dealing with the United Planets and the Lord Premier. Because we're talking about huge ramifications here. Entire central batteries destroyed, the emotional spectrum in disarray. Kyle Rayner having the capability to completely disintegrate rings down to nothing, as if they never existed and those wielders never wielded them. I am very excited to see, hopefully, they do something great with Kyle Rayner. If they don't, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Because right now, you know, they're kind of hyping him up. There's something going on in his head, the emotional spectrum's in disarray, he's seeing rainbows that he can't grab, and then he explodes with power. They gotta be setting him up for something big. And I'm hoping that JOHN Stewart's gonna come back into the fold. I know he's dealing with his own story right now when it comes to the Dark Stars. But all of this was kicked off because of JOHN Stewart. Because of him being ascended. Because of him grabbing hold of that storm. When the central battery was destroyed, he recreated it. He brought the Lantern Corps back. I don't feel like you can continue this Hal Jordan Green Lantern story without bringing JOHN Stewart into it, just because he was so fundamental in starting it all off. But we'll have to see after Absolute Power. I'm very, very unsure about Absolute Power at this point. You guys know how I feel about Amanda Waller. I feel like she's an overused character. I'm tired of seeing her. I'm tired of her being the protagonist in dang near all the events over the last couple of years. I'm ready to move on to somebody new, somebody different. And I think that's one reason that I'm excited about House of Brainiac. Though he's not technically new in any sense, we don't get to see Brainiac too often in the main continuity, and the fact that he is so hugely impacting the Superman comics right now makes it a lot of fun. And it's definitely a direction Brainiac's never gone before. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.